Got ourselves team 1 together with Fat Sack as a Necrolord Monkus, with Kun Lao as another Monkus on the team. I like that Mog though. We got ourselves Sippy as a Druid, Toxic in the back, Jay Chillin, as well as Yako as a Frost DK. The tabard kind of threw me off thinking you're a Venthier, but the rest of the Mog is full-blown Necrolord. I mean, the full Fleshcraft Shield. I mean, that should have been the big giveaway, right? It's just the tabard throws me off. See, we're trying to see if he can maybe get around him. That is a Frost DK. He got the pet out really, really early, but that is a Frost DK. Gonna be a trinket for Yayo, but as Yako, as he's trying to get a grip, just trying to reduce the damage out of Seawork as he got himself the Touch of the Magi setup. Gonna be Yay with all defensive burn, actually. Look at this. He got himself Pillar, he got himself Rune of Weapon, he got AMS as well as a Death Pact. So he's actually used a lot of defensives all at once, also offensives, just to get a trinket and grip Seawork in, just to disrupt the burst. Seawork actually just kind of stuck out here in the open, no ghoul for him to attack. He just got that Kevin Slime to hit from time to time. And maybe he could just wait out for resources, wait up until he has something to work with. Just continue to hit the slime. Is he just building up for something maybe? Try to Dora Shadows as Yako, try to get around him. That's going to be a quick destroying by Seawork if Yako walks in front of that circle or inside of that circle. Quick invis by Seawork into a poly. As he got himself another full setup, full cooldowns available this time versus Yako. Could it be big burst? Potentially. Big burst out of that. Try to drop down anti-magic zone, walking back into it. Gonna be huge damage out of Seawork. Yako with massive death strike trying to heal right through it. IPF was used there as well just to dampen the dam. And Seawork dropping down a Rune of Power and missiles flying. Gonna be a Flesh Cut. Silence out of Yako. Can't even do much. Just missiles flying at it. This man is just jittering. And it's gonna be Arcane Orb taking him out. That was a tough one. Next up is going to be a Feral. Quick images for Seawork, perfectly used, as it is. Images going to be taking some of that damage from Sippy. 20% damage reduction, but images are going to fade as Seawork takes damage. All the time up for Seawork, just so you can get some health back. Shields back up and running. Sippy leaping on Seawork bash, so that's going to be immediate trinket by the Mage. If you can just keep Sippy in combat without allowing him to catch a reset, I think Seawork is going to be in a decent position. Trying to see if you can throw the Flesh Scout so Sippy doesn't get any kind of shield. Quick knockback with an Arcane Sphere. Doesn't even let that thing channel for a while. That knockback is still pretty good. I think the knockback is the same distance, whether it's a big orb, whether it's a small orb. So using it as a knockback on like a, what, 30-second cooldown or whatever the thing is, might not be the worst idea. Seawork tried to keep this low so the Sippy main got stacked up. Sippy, Feral Frenzy, not comboing together with Target Sphere, so he's actually missing out on some damage. Maybe I shouldn't be telling him how to play his class, but he's definitely missing out on some damage. Quick invis by Seawork, trying to blast it to Sippy. Gonna be Shackles Malediction as he's trying to get him some Mirrors of Torment. Sippy taking a bit of damage though from the Torment, from the Touch of the Magi. Shields are up for Seawork. Sippy trying to get himself as much healing as possible. Eventually the Mirrors of Torment is gonna slow him down and root him. Massive missiles flying for Seawork. Sippy finds himself rooted in place, is gonna power shift out of it. Barrel Form, Frenzy Region, walls. That's a lot of defenses used at once. As an Arcane Sphere is setting up right behind him. Seawork making sure to blink into the pillar to make sure there's as much of a point blank connection with that shield. Quick bash over to Seawork. Sippy got himself some bleeds up and running. Missing out one big massive bleed though. Quick root by Seawork and trying to get slows onto Sippy as much as possible. Just trying to keep that man in combat. Trying to keep him slow. Trying to keep him away from Seawork. As the shields are up, quick interrupt on nature, got himself the Touch of the Magi. That's extra fireworks flying out, trying to throw in a Arcane Orb around the corner. Does go and does do some damage, but not enough to take down the Feral just yet. Short maim as Sippy getting more bleeds up and running. Again, like really desyncing his cooldowns. Door Shadows to disorient Sippy for a second. Seawork gets himself a quick breather. I don't think there's enough Seawork CC that can actually DR with a Disorient from the Venthier. But it's working out really, really incredibly well. That little CC, dude, just a quick breather, just a quick reset. All the time as the main comes down, Seawork is perfectly fine, losing a bunch of health. You're supposed to worry about those bleeds. Big bite, and that's going to be all the time out of there. Trying to get the missiles flying, but the barrage takes priority. Just to get it slow because the barrage will also chase Sippy behind the pillar. It has a bit of travel time. Sippy will have a harder time. Gotcha, the full reset. Trying to go for a flush cap, but looks like Seawork kind of kept him on edge, kept him constantly moving and shifting, and wasn't able to get himself a flush cap. Sippy leaping in, got himself enough for a maim, but it's going to be images, mirrors on Sippy. Could potentially give Seawork a lot of damage. Touch of the Magi is up, blinking around the Druid. Bash up, and Sippy's eventually going to get himself rooted and silenced. Arcane misses flying. Big damage. Sippy is in trouble. Massive touch of of the magic trinkets just to get out of the research. Seavark trying to see if he can barrage him down. Missiles flying, more damage and more damage rolling, and I think CP might be in trouble. Oh my goodness! The Feral Druid! It's a hard counter for Arcane mages, let alone most mages. And Seavark was able to at least deal with it. With Fat Sack gonna be up next, playing that Serenity? Celerity? Check it out in the chat. Did anybody chat? Anyone chat doesn't know. Imagine when you played as a prod, you let him do that? I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Fat Sack though with a Zuen. Is that Zuen over there? Oh no, Zuen. It's attacking Chicago. Boss is trying to stab it with a pitchfork. Fat Sacks, he can't really. I guess he can somewhat control his mage, can he not? I guess he can somewhat. No, I think that thing does have a pet bar, doesn't it? Yeah, but either way, as long as that thing doesn't kill the rest of team 2 while they're not able to play. Also, I just looked at team 2. They got 3 druids. We got druid. We got us as kitty, and we got us as bosses. I just noticed all these orange health bars. I didn't even realize. At least one of them was Boomkin, so it is a bit of a variety and doesn't quite break the rules of 5v1, where there's only 2 of the same class. Spec, playstyle rather, changes depending on a class. Gonna be in cap onto Seavark. Fat Sack took a lot of damage there. Mirrors are on him, so as he tries to heal himself, it is gonna make it harder for him to get any kind of healing, because eventually he's gonna get silenced and rooted. So unless he has Tiger's Lust for it, it's actually going to be in trubs. Trying to get a melee of Seavark. Big kicks coming out. Trying to roll. I think that roll actually I think his roll counted as a spell and broke mirrors just now. Full poly up for Seavark. Just trying to put some CC onto Fat Sack. And Seavark got himself at least 2 images to protect him for that 20% damage reduction. As he's just going to mount up and try to bail out of there, using barrages to kind him out, more missiles, just keeping the range, keeping him at bay, especially as he gets Tiger's Lust up and running, just keeping those slows and making it harder for him to approach. Arcane Sphere, does he land it? Does he shoot? Does he score? Trying to make it happen. Fat Sack walked around the other side as the images keep slowing down the monk with frostbolts, which is helping as well. Quick invis by Seavark as Fat Sack tried to spin to win inside of that invis. Try to see if he can find Seavark in there. Big missiles, big damage on the touch of the magic. Quick in cap, but Fat Sack just trying to dampen some of the damage from Seavark. Another rune of power is up. Zuen joins the fight. Seavark is just gonna have to find a way to deal with this. Dampen harm is used by Fat Sack. Leg sweep onto Seavark. Ice block as the full Serenity burst comes out. It looks like Fat Sack is gonna back up out of the Seavark with breaking out all of that ice block immediately as soon as he sees Fat Sack just out in the open, barraging him, and looks like a lot of the burst out of the monk for now is gone. Ice block is going to be a while until it's back up. Fat Sack better be careful with the healing, better be careful with the damage. Arcane Sphere is definitely going to lock him out with an Arcane Orb right after, with missiles to follow. Wait, did Seavark just take him out? Trying to Vivify. Eventually Vivifying is going to trigger the Mirrors of Torment. He might be in trouble. Silence, rooted, can't go anywhere. At least in cap with a Fist of Fury on it, as well as a Karma onto Seavark. Fat Sack is super low in health. Seavark is going to get interrupted on Arcane, which is not optimal here. But touching the magic with missiles flying in might be enough damage right then and there. Oh, Fat Sack trying to heal as best as he can. Arcane Orb around the corner. Doesn't quite connect. That is the touch of the magic that does get him super low though. And Fat Sack trying to go for that Flesh Scaft. Unable to get himself a full channel. Got himself Vivifies at the very least. Spinning Crane Kicks. I don't even know if he's going for procs. Going to be invis for Arcane Seavark with more missiles around the corner. Trying to go for Rune of Power. Fat Sack disconnecting to the other side of the pillar. 20 seconds on Serenity. 40 seconds on Zuen. He might be able to make something work here. Seavark might have to play this a bit more defensively. No offensives, no defensives. All he has is kites and polys. Trinket available for the Fat Sack if he needs it. That's going to be more slows up. BDB burst is up, so he's giving away that he's got big burst. Arcane Seavark got alter time. So if he takes a lot of damage, he can always alter time it. I think that's why Fat Sack is not committing too much damage, trying to land a poly. And that is going to be a poly onto the Monkus. He can wait next minute. Knockback, maybe? Does he connect? He does connect on the roll. That's actually Fat Sack with a full touch of the magic and everything. Oh my goodness. Seavark trying to see if he can Dora Shadows in there, try to push in. But Fat Sack is going to continue healing himself as best as possible. Has a Karma up very, very soon. Mirrors of Torment going to hit him with an incap. And that's a Tiger's Lust to get him out of there. The Arcane Dream? Yes, it is, Mihail. This is the Arcane Dream. Are we sleeping or are we living it? That is the question. The Arcane Sphere, yeah, that Arcane Blink for so you got a blink, you got a touch of the magic, Arcane Sphere, and a blink turnaround all in once. It was such a good ability to use this. It's just a train of abilities in such a quick succession. Seawork is gonna have to find a way to deal with Fat Sack. This is full burst available. Zuen is in there. Big BDB is up. Nova into Fat Sack. Quick in cap. As Fat Sack trying to deal with his Karma is up. Looks like Seawork is gonna blast into that Karma. Arcane Sphere might be used to knock back Seawork. It's actually gonna be Fat Sack taking so much damage, so many missiles. Oh my god, Seawork. You're just looking at this monk, and the monk has every cooldown available. Everything but like a trinket to get out of this burst, out of the CC. And Seawork is just watching it and is just like, I'm just gonna collapse all this arcane power on ya. Seawork trying to see if he could Dora Shadows out of there away from Toxic, but the spike is gonna take him out. Nothing he could do at the end. This was Seawork, who just exhausted everything to fight not only a druid, not only a BDB monk, but also a Frost DK too, which is kind of tough. Toxic trying to see if he might be able to deal with Chicago. Cheap shots coming out, and Toxic used quite a lot of cooldowns versus Seawork. Evasion no longer present. Cloak, mind you, use it. Blind onto Chicago. Maybe Toxic with a vanish. No vanish, and Chicago zaps him out of there. Kun Lao is the last one left over on Team 1 as they approach Chicago, trying to drop down a big BDB, big chain, big kicks coming out with a wall onto Chicago. Knows the win for Kun Lao. I wonder why Ascendance joins the fight for Chicago, popping off that massive cooldown, spinning crane kick to win for Kun Lao. But the wind strikes are just doing so much damage. Kun Lao trying to reduce the damage of those wind strikes with a diffuse magic, but also overlaps it together with a Karma just to give himself as much security here. A full security blanket on himself. A quick in cap on Chicago. Kun Lao needs just a bit more to finish this off. He got Zuen, he got everything. Needs another BDB if possible. I don't think he has one anytime soon though. Maybe can make someone work with Zuen. Chicago got healing. We are at 40% damage. Quick Thunder. Chicago might be able to. Oh, looks like Chicago was able to land a quick Thunder and a quick good set of procs afterwards. Kun Lao, a lot of his damage was burned into that wall, so that is going to make it tough to deal with. I didn't even have had to have no CDs love, but GG. Yo, Seawork, my guy, that was nutty. That was actually nutty. I use Vanish for a 10k Shadow Strike for Seawork. I use it for a burst. Oh, do you actually use Vanish for a part of your burst? Okay, I one-shotted in my job. Okay, so you're playing like a try to one-shot build. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's pretty rough to get out of there at that point. I think at that point you usually like build compoints for a killing shot. Watch an enemy trinket, blind them, go for a reset.